Lesson 86, Algebraic Phrases. This is a really fun lesson because we get to translate from English words or phrases to math symbols. Now, some of you might know a different language like Spanish or something else, and you have to translate, and sometimes what you do is learn some of the words, but sometimes what you have to do is also learn what the phrase is and then translate that into a different phrase in your language or in another language. So that's what we're going to be doing today. It's like memorizing or getting very familiar with these phrases so when we have to translate them, they're easy to do. Okay? So the first one is the sum. Sum is very easy. It's addition, so I know we're going to add. What are we adding? Well, it says the sum of a number and 7. So for number, I'm going to use n. You can also use x, whatever you prefer. A number and 7. Notice how that n plus 7 is saying the sum of a number and 7. The next one says the sum of a number and negative 7. So we're going to put the same, a plus, and then the number and negative 7. Now you guys know that plus minus can be simplified. So what I'm going to do is just teach you that you can write n minus 7. Okay, that's what you can say instead of putting n plus minus 7. Just put n minus 7. The next one is 7 greater than a number. Now, when you see these greater than and less than, what I'm going to suggest and really ask that you follow is that you write it after whatever comes next. So I'm going to first write the n, because that's what comes next, the n. And then I'm going to put 7 greater than. If something is 7 greater than, is that we're adding also 7. So notice all these different ways of doing the same, of writing the same thing, n plus 7, but we have it in different phrases. Now, the next one says 7 less than a number. So again, I'm going to start by writing the n and then the minus 7. Okay? Now, this is tricky because the most common mistake here is to put 7 minus n, but we're not subtracting n. The last one says a number decreased by 7. A number decreased is minus 7. And we don't have here an example, but if it said a number increased by 7, that would be plus 7. Okay? So increase is plus, decrease is minus. In these other examples, we have other different words, so let's read them and see how we would translate them. The product of a number and 7. Product is multiplication. So this word you have to remember, product is multiplication. And I'm going to write 7 in. Can you write n7? Yes, you can, but it just looks ugly. So don't do it. Just put 7n, even if the order is different. Then we have this thing that says the opposite. Remember, we learned about what is the opposite of a number. Is the opposite of n would be negative n. Okay? So the opposite of a number is negative n, but I have a 7 also here in front. So you can write it like that. Or if you get familiar with this and you want to do it in one step, you can also write negative 7n. That would be the opposite of a number times 7. The third example there is twice a number. This word twice means 2 times. So 2 times a number, twice a number. Then we have the opposite again. Notice, twice the opposite of a number. So I know I can just put a negative in front. Negative 2n. Now the last two have a little bit more to it. So let's read them carefully. It says the sum, so I'm going to put the sum of twice a number, so that's 2n. Notice how we're combining things. And negative 8, negative 8. So again, if we simplify that, we can write it as 2n minus 8. So we don't put the plus and the minus. Now let's look at the last one. The last one says 5 times. So I have to put 5 times. And I'm going to use parentheses so that the 5 affects the whole thing that is next. The sum, so I know it's the sum of twice a number and negative 8. So notice how we translated that. 5 times the sum of twice a number and negative 8. Okay? It's really, really fun. You guys should get very familiar with this so that you can do it very easily. I'm going to let you do these by yourself, so pause the video, and then you can check your answer with my answers. Okay, so the first one, 5 times a number. Pretty easy, 5 in. 4 times the opposite of a number. So again, is the opposite of a number, so that's going to be a negative n, but with a 4 in front, I can put negative 4 in. Letter C, the sum of twice a number, negative 10. So I see a negative 10 there, so I know I can put just minus 10. So I'm going to put twice a number, minus 10. All right, let's do the next one. 10 times, so I'm going to put 10 times. 10 times what? The opposite of a number, so negative n plus 5, because it says the sum of the opposite of a number and 5. Okay, pretty easy. All right, and the last one, remember this tricky part here where it says less than, we're going to put that at the end. So we're going to put minus 10 and put first whatever comes next. So twice the opposite of a number. Twice the opposite of a number. So negative 2n minus 10. Okay, pretty simple. Make sure you practice this so that you really, so that you have an easy time translating, because we're going to be using it a lot. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.